All right. So today we are going to be going over cybersecurity for small businesses. But before we get started, I am going to hand it over to Marquita, our Small Business Resource Center Director, to introduce herself and our business coaches, and then we'll get going on this training.
Hi, my name is Marquita. As Kelly stated, I am the program director for the Small Business Resource Center. We are funded through an SBA grant that is called the Community Navigator Pilot Program. And through that grant, it allows us to provide resources such as marketing, legal, accounting, business mentoring, SBA loans, microloans, and grant application assistance to our clients. We have two locations, one in Hillsborough, Missouri, and also one in St. Clair, where our business coaches are. And our business coaches are who will work directly with our clients and assist them in obtaining the resources they need. So first we have for you today, Miss Brittany Boyer, who is the business coach out of our St. Clair location.
Thank you, Marquita. As Marquita mentioned, I am Brittany. I work out of the St. Clair office as a business coach. Once you get registered, typically myself or the other business coach, Michael, will reach out to you and determine what you're needing and kind of explain how the program works in a nutshell and figure out the best resources to send you or to have you go their way and to begin helping you the best way we can to either start your business or to grow your business. So I look forward to working with all of you. And Michael is the other coach, so I'm going to just introduce him since I'm on here. And Michael?
Hello, I'm the other business coach in Hillsborough, and my name is Michael.
All right, everyone.
Go ahead and get started, Miss Miller.
Yep, thank you. And thank you all for your introductions. And my name is Kelly. I am the resource specialist, and I do work out of the Hillsborough office with Michael. And as I stated, I'm the resource specialist. So I reach out to the resources, see if there's anything that they're needing on our end, anything that they're needing assistance with. And then I also look for new resources if a client is in need of something we don't already provide or have connections with. I also develop the trainings and present at the trainings. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with cybersecurity for small businesses. Again, we are the Small Business Resource Center, brought to you by Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation and funded by the Small Business Administration. And again, as already stated, the Small Business Resource Center is a nonprofit organization brought to you by the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation. We are funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration through the Community Navigator Pilot Program. We provide no-cost consulting to entrepreneurs and small businesses in Jefferson, Franklin, Washington, St. Francis, and St. Genevieve counties in Missouri. We also connect these clients with our resources or spokes to assist them with other services such as accounting, legal, marketing, and funding through loan application assistance. And you can register for our services at jfcac.org/SBRC, as Marquita has shared in the chat. So, as a disclaimer, the purpose of this presentation is to provide general information only. It is not intended to be a comprehensive summary of any ordinances, regulations, and/or laws. The information presented does not constitute legal advice. One should always contact their attorney, CPA, and/or any other professional or authoritative agency with any questions and/or concerns. So, why is cybersecurity important? Businesses need cybersecurity awareness and a strategy to protect themselves, their customers, and all data they store from cyber threats. As technology is growing and becoming a bigger part of our personal lives as well as our business lives, this is definitely something that everybody at least needs to be aware of so that they can be on the defense in case they receive anything that might send up a red flag. The topics that we're going to cover today are threats, good internet browsing practices, avoiding suspicious downloads, authentication tools, keeping data safe, And we'll also talk about if your credit may be at risk. So, what are some common threats? Some common threats are malware, an umbrella term that refers to software intentionally designed to cause damage to a computer, server, or computer network. Malware can include viruses and ransomware. There's also viruses. These are harmful programs intended to spread from computers to other connected devices like a disease. Cyber criminals use viruses to gain access to your systems and to cause significant and sometimes unreparable damages and issues. Ransomware. This is a specific type of malware that infects and restricts access to a computer until some sort of ransom is provided. Ransomware will commonly encrypt data on the victim's device and demand money in return for a promise to restore the data. Ransomware exploits unpatched vulnerabilities in software and is usually delivered through phishing emails. Spyware, a form of malware that is designated to gather information from a target and then send it to another entity without consent. There are types of spyware that are legitimate, legal, and operate for commercial purposes, such as advertising data collected by social media platforms. However, malicious spyware is used frequently to steal information and send it to other parties. And then there's phishing. This is a type of cyber attack that uses email or a malicious website to infect your computer or system with malware or to collect sensitive information. Phishing emails appear as though they've been sent from a legitimate organization or known individual. These emails often entice users to click on a link or open an attachment containing malicious code. Be very cautious about opening links from unknown sources. If something seems suspicious from a known source, don't just click on it. Ask the source directly if it's legitimate. So, if Marquita were to email me something that seems a little bit out of character, rather than maybe replying to that email, I might want to send a new email to her. I may want to go ahead and call her, or if she is available, I may go ahead and just walk into her office and ask her if she sent that email. You always want to err on the side of caution. So, here's a good phishing email example. If you would, take a moment and review this email and see if you can pick out a few red flags. Once you have, if you would like to either unmute yourself and speak about them or put them in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you about a minute to look over this and put them in there.
Grammatical errors.
All right, grammatical errors. Brittany put in the chat, the attachment title is not accurate. Okay, yeah, definitely looks a little sketchy. It doesn't say Jane Doe invoice or ABC company invoice, okay?
There's a sense of urgency that's given to the email.
Absolutely, urgency. They want you to take action now, that they're wanting to kind of almost scare you into taking action really quick. So I've went ahead and I've outlined some of the things that are wrong with this email. So the sender email address, if you'll look at this, it's not coming from Mary or maybe M Smith at att.net. It is coming from attaccounts4k3@gmail.com. That is a big red flag. Most legitimate companies, especially a company like AT&T, have it's going to come from their domain. It's going to come from AT&T.net. Anyone can go onto Gmail and create an account in anyone's name or name themselves as a business. I could go on there right now and create an email account for Wells Fargo Credit at gmail.com. And that does fool some people because they think, oh, well, I bank with Wells Fargo, or I've heard of Wells Fargo, so this must be trustworthy. No, absolutely not. Anytime it comes from a Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, any of the other email hosts like that, you want to definitely take a double look at this. Next is the urgency, the subject, important, delinquent account. Anytime you see something that says, oh, I'm delinquent on something, you immediately want to make it right, especially if there's an easy way to pay now. The attachment name, as Brittany pointed out. So this is just a bunch of combobbled up things. It doesn't form anything. There's no wording. So that kind of looks a little odd. This does not address Jane by name. This is dear customer. So this is able to be sent out on a mass email, excuse me, on a mass email campaign, and they are not individualizing at all. They're not customizing it. They're able to copy and paste this or BCC the heck out of this. They're not changing anything, and they're hoping that somebody again is gonna get hooked. So, dear customer, I am contact you today because your company have a overdue invoice. So right there, we're already looking at that lacking of proper vernacular, and we're also dealing with misspelled words. This also asks you to click a link within the email. And it's also asking you, if you don't want to click the link, to go ahead and just reply with your payment information. Definitely don't send your payment information over any kind of email or unsecure payment site. They are threatening collections and account closure. So this is also what is telling you, that's their way of saying, if you don't take care of this right now, hurry, 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 do it. We're going to close your account. Well, again, that ensues panic. You think, oh, well, I don't want to get in trouble and one of our accounts get closed, and then my boss is really going to be upset with me. So people are like, oh, I got to take care of this right now. Sure, let me reply with that payment information. Let me click on this link. Let me view this invoice. When you reply with your payment information, they've now got your payment information. When you click to open the invoice or you click on that link, it can then infect your computer, your systems, your servers with those threats that we just went over. It could get you to a very seedy website, which we will go over. There's a lot of things. So also the last thing, when you look at Miss Mary Smith's signature, if you want to question this, you're going to want to call that phone number. And I am willing to bet 9 out of 10 times that is not a working number, or that phone number doesn't go to a Mary Smith at AT&T. Furthermore, if you do dial that number and they do say that they're Mary Smith with AT&T, do not provide them with any information. You make them verify with you. Do not give them any information. Even then, I still would caution you to still provide any kind of information. I would go ahead and look up the known number that you may have used before for your accounts with this particular vendor. So just always be on the lookout for things like that. All right, so good internet browsing practices. We want to avoid visiting sites that lack a SSL certificate. URLs of SSL-enabled sites typically begin with HTTPS rather than HTTP, and you will see the padlock at the beginning. So if you can see there in the little example provided, there's a little padlock and it starts with HTTPS. That S stands for secured. You also want to pay attention to the websites that you visit and or are routed to. Visit legitimate and trusted websites for safe and secure browsing. So many times, especially now, there's always pop-ups and ads and things like that, and they are catered to you and your algorithms. They're always learning what you might actually look at. For instance, Michael, if he likes Mustangs, then they might be sending his ads, excuse me, sending his ads, Mustangs for cheap or for sale Mustang, or, wheels for a Mustang, things like that. Something that you're going to be clicking on. They're not going to send Michael something for, we'll say, a Peterbilt semi, because he has no interest in that. He's looked up Mustang things before. So they're going to send enticing things. So you want to be careful when clicking on those ads. And then furthermore, you want to be careful when you get routed to that website for whatever it is that they're trying to advertise to you. You want to regularly check trusted websites for its latest safety information. You want to make purchases from secure sites. Keep the browser you use updated, and be careful when clicking on hyperlinks and ads. Now, making purchases from secure sites. I myself use Amazon, of course, like most people do, and I also use eBay. And a lot of times I actually still pay using PayPal. I don't put my debit or credit card information in there or my bank account information. I typically pay through PayPal because that adds an extra level of security. PayPal does not give them your account information. PayPal themselves send a payment. And then if something happens, PayPal can dispute it. And a lot of times I've had a couple times where I haven't gotten a product, or I was double charged, things like that. Luckily, I was able to use PayPal, and I go ahead and speak with PayPal about it, and then we can get it fixed. And it actually works a heck of a lot quicker than trying to deal directly with the bank, because the bank, as soon as they find out you have provided your account information, it's kind of your fault at that point, in my experience. So, definitely go through secure payment sites as well. You want to use a secure internet connection and do not use public Wi-Fi, block pop-ups, and clean your web browser cookies and cache. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. And all right, so avoiding suspicious downloads. If online, check if the source site is the legitimate official source. Hackers will register websites using the official name, but with a different TLD. And that's your .com, .net, .org, .edu. So for an example, for the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation site, we are jfcac.org. That's our official site. If you take another look at that, jfcac.tech, that is fake. You don't see a lot of text. And then, excuse me, for your suspicious downloads, anytime you're downloading anything, you want to check the file for the proper extension. Typically, images come with the extensions of JPEGs or PNGs. If it is some kind of form or Word document, it's going to have that docx, PDF, or RTF. If you see a .exe, that is a potentially dangerous file, so you want to stay away from that. And you also want to avoid from unknown sources, such as RAR and zips. Now, with that zip, you do have to be careful, because if someone sends you a zip file, that is something you'll want to confirm with them. Did you send me a zip file? Is it safe to open? Is it secure to open? So definitely always speak with them about that. Do not open or download any attachments from unknown or suspicious looking email senders, and keep your antivirus turned on as a last line of defense. All right, so let's talk about authentication tools. So you want to enable multi-factor authentication. Cell phones have the option to enable facial and/or thumbprint recognition in addition to a passcode to unlock the phone, or use login information stored on the phone for various accounts and/or apps. You want to set your accounts to notify you when a login attempt has been made. And also set your accounts to require a verification via text or phone call when a login attempt has been made. So for me, I'm an iPhone user and I have everything on my iPhone, from my PayPal to my bank account to Amazon, eBay, and a lot of other different apps. So they require passwords. I try not to use the same password for all of them, so I'm going to have a hard time remembering that. Well, my iPhone gives me the option to store those passwords. So for that multi-factor authentication, not only does my iPhone require a Face ID to unlock, or if the Face ID fails, I actually have a 6-digit PIN set up that someone would have to know to be able to get into my phone. Furthermore, to be able to use those passwords or gain access to my full list of passwords, it again asks for that Face ID. To get into any of the apps, like my bank app, if it wants to log in, if I'm trying to log in, it's going to read my face or it's going to ask me for the actual password for that account. So just having that multi-factor authentication always helps. It's just having that extra layer of security. And then the use of strong passwords. Do not use the same password on multiple accounts. Do not use easily guessed passwords. Use passwords containing letters, numbers, and characters to form a random word such as pineapple dog 75. Some smartphones give the option of a strong password containing a random sequence of letters, numbers, and characters. So again, not using the same password on multiple accounts. If I used Pineapple Dog 75 on every single one of my accounts, that means that if one person has my password and tries it on all of my accounts, they can get into everything that I have. So I try not to use the same passwords. Same as easily guessed passwords. My name is Kelly and my date of birth is July 20th. I don't want to use Kelly 0720 for passwords because that can be easily guessed. If you know any information about me, which wouldn't be hard to find, and we'll get into that just a little bit later. So as we were saying for the Pineapple Dog 75, taking a look at that password, you have a capitalized letter, and then you immediately have a special character, and then it goes into the NEAPPL, but then you have a 3 for the E, another capital letter, and then OG75. So for this, somebody could guess this phrase, have everything right, but if they don't capitalize that D on dog, it's not going to work. So just throwing in a little curveball every now and then definitely helps. Again, just another little layer of security for you. And then as far as the smartphones providing their strong passwords. Again, I am an iPhone user. So if I create a new account or I have to update a password, it gives me this crazy long looking strong password that's like I %, D312, asterisk 12 again. I mean, it's just all kinds of craziness that it's a random sequence of letters and numbers that nobody's ever going to guess. So you could use that as well. All right, so keeping data safe. Again, that secure payment processing. Work with your banks or card processors to ensure you are using the most trusted and validated tools and anti-fraud services. You may also have additional security obligations related to agreements with your bank or payment processor. Isolate payment systems from the less secure programs and do not use the same computer to process payments and casually browse the internet. Control physical access. Prevent access or the use of business computers by unauthorized individuals. Laptops and mobile devices can be particularly easy targets for theft and can be lost, so lock them up when unattended. Make sure a separate user account is created for each employee and require strong passwords. Administrative privileges should only be given to trusted IT staff and key personnel. Conduct access audits on a regular basis to ensure that former employees have been removed from your systems and have returned all company-issued devices. You also want to make sure that you're backing up your data. Regularly back up data on all of your computers. Forms of critical data include word processing documents, electronic spreadsheets, databases, financial files, human resource files, and accounting files. If possible, institute data backups to cloud storage on a weekly basis. And then finally, control your data access. Frequently audit the data and information you are housing in cloud storage repositories such as Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, and Microsoft services. Appoint administrators for cloud storage drive and collaboration tools and instruct them to monitor user permissions, giving employee access to only the information they need. So you just want to make sure that people are seeing things that are relative to their pay grade, that are relative to their responsibilities and duties for the company. A person who is doing the shipping does not need to see the financial data for the company. So you can assess your business's risk. Having a cybersecurity plan is becoming a common requirement, almost as much so as a business plan. It's a good practice to have either a dedicated IT employee or a contracted IT consultant company to monitor your business's systems and to be a point of contact if there's suspicious activity. Please visit the SBA website for valuable resources. Brittany has shared that in the chat for you. On here, you can take advantage of their various cybersecurity tools and resources, like the cybersecurity planning tool that helps you create a custom cybersecurity plan based on your business needs. Now, why is a cybersecurity plan becoming a common requirement? Well, again, same reason that we are having this training today. Technology is evolving. It's becoming a bigger part of our everyday life. At some point, even if you're a person who doesn't have a cell phone, at some point in your life, in your daily life, you are dealing with some type of technology, whether it is going to the store and using self-checkout, or you are and using your card there, or you are going to the bank and making a transaction. Everything is based around technology more, and that is only going to increase. That is a growing trend. Technology here is to try and make our lives easier. Sometimes for anybody who's had any computer problems, they would swear against it, but it does try to make our life a little more easier and convenient. So having that cybersecurity plan is a really good way to show who you're showing your business plan to that you're wanting to protect your business, that you understand that computers and technology are going to be a big part of your business, and this is how you plan to keep your business's data safe and also your customers' data safe. The last thing that you want is a data leak and your customers' financials being harmed, your customers' identities going out there and possibly being stolen. That is a quick, fast, and sure way that your business might not do so well. All right, so let's talk about how your credit may be at risk through all of this. When setting up different accounts, websites ask probing questions under the guise of security. These questions may seem routine and generalized at first, but they may progress into more personal identifying data. It's going to ask you to create a username and password. If you use the same password for multiple accounts, this is an easy way to be hacked. It's going to ask for your email address. Okay, yeah, you want to connect your account and get email notifications on certain things. It's going to ask for your phone number. Maybe they want to send you texts whenever they've got a deal or a coupon code. Mailing address. Okay, I guess. Again, maybe they're going to like mail coupons or a newsletter or something. And then you go into the security questions to sign up for this new account. It's going to ask you your mother's maiden name, your father's middle name, your favorite pet. These are common security questions that are asked over various platforms. Social media may ask these security questions. Your bank may ask your security questions. Your shopping account at JCPenney may ask these security questions, but they do get a little more general, or they do get a little bit more personal. Your date of birth. Okay, some companies ask for your date of birth. One, if it has anything to do with alcohol, it may ask for your date of birth to verify that you can have an account or you can view their website. Other ones ask for your date of birth because they want to send you a special discount for your birthday. And then they may go ahead and ask you for your last 4 to 6 digits of your social security number, if not your full social security number. Providing this personal data exposes individuals and their businesses to the risk of identity theft and other crimes. So think about the things that you have out there right now. So is your social media safe? As with any site on the internet, you must be cautious when providing information about yourself. Take this time to think about what is available on your social media pages right now. Answering questions on social media pages that ask for your first concert you attended, your favorite vacation spots, your favorite movie, your books, etc. And then if people don't, excuse me, if people don't have their trees set to private on family tree sites, people can easily access information that would give away the first, middle, and maiden names of other relatives. So all of this information is right out there for the public, depending on your privacy settings. But most of the time, they're going to get your name, possibly your spouse's name or your significant other's, your children's name, your pet's name, your date of birth, what school you went to. I know a common question is common security question is what was your high school mascot? Well, if you look on mine, it's going to tell you that I went to DeSoto Senior High in DeSoto, Missouri. It's not hard to look that school up and see that we are the Dragons. So there's so many things that are out there on your social media that can be used to hack into your accounts. So you just want to be vigilant in the things that you have out there for the public to see. So, how do you check your credit to make sure there's nothing on there that doesn't belong to you? As an individual and a business owner, it is important you know what is being reported on your credit. Frequently check the accuracy of your credit reports. You can sign up to use a trusted and verified credit management or monitoring service such as Experian, Credit Karma, NerdWallet, or Credit Sesame. Now, please know the SBRC has no affiliation with the above mentioned companies. They are provided as examples only and not to be construed as promotion of services or subscriptions. You can also request a free copy of your credit reports, of your credit reports from the credit bureaus one time per year. So annually, you can contact the 3 big credit bureaus and ask for your credit report, and they have to provide it to you free of charge. They will do that one time per year. If there's anything on your credit report that does not belong to you, such as a credit or loan accounts, late payments, inquiries, or collections, take immediate action. Contact the credit bureaus reporting the account and dispute the account. Contact the creditor reporting the account, and contact the authorities if you feel that your identity has been stolen. All right, and do we have any questions?
Nope.
All right. So we do have some trainings that are coming up soon that we're very excited about. In next month, April, we are going to be having a training over choosing the right business entity and business licensing. So if you are an entrepreneur that is wanting to get started but not quite sure what business is right for you, sole proprietorship, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, anything like that, that's one that you want to definitely attend. And then we've got a hot button topic coming up on April 20th. We have the employer navigation of legalized medical and recreational marijuana. That is being developed and will be presented by our attorney, Mr. Daniel McNamee. And then in May, we are also going to have a marketing and advertising training. If there's any kind of trainings out there that you think that you would benefit from, please let us know, and we're happy to get that training developed and presented for you. Thank you so much for attending today's training, cybersecurity training, brought to you again by the Small Business Resource Center in the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation. If you have any questions or suggestions, please contact us today at www.jfcac.org/SBRC, or you can contact us by phone at 636-489-SBRC, which is also 7272. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again. Bye now.